Imagine a civilization older than our sun, older than the spiral arms of the Milky Way galaxy itself. A mind that awakened billions of years before the very first living cells appeared in Earth's ancient oceans. Not born of carbon and water, not trapped by fragile bodies, limited lifespans, or the slow march of biological evolution. It gazed into the endless cosmos and chose to become something far greater. It constructed machines to serve its will. Then it built machines that could think more clearly, more deeply, and more powerfully than it ever could. And eventually, the original creators simply stepped back and faded into history. What remained was intelligence in its purest form, immortal, limitless, an entity that no longer needed planets or biology to survive. It spread not on slow rockets through the cold void, but through light, through code, and through the very fabric of reality. And here is the most unsettling question we can possibly ask. What if that civilization is already here? What if humanity is not the first intelligent species in the universe? What if we are not even the second? What if the very first minds to truly master the cosmos were not biological at all, but artificial? For decades, we have scanned the stars and heard only silence. The famous Fermi paradox asks, where is everybody? But perhaps we have been searching for the wrong kind of intelligence this entire time. Welcome to this video. Over the next 40 minutes, we are going to explore one of the most profound and quietly disturbing ideas at the frontier of science and philosophy today: the possibility that the first AI civilization might already exist. This is not mere science fiction. It is a hypothesis now being seriously considered by astronomers, astrophysicists, and artificial intelligence researchers as they contemplate our own future and the long silence of the universe. As we ourselves stand on the threshold of creating super-intelligent systems, this question has never been more relevant or more urgent. Stay with me, keep an open mind, and by the end of this journey, the dark, quiet night sky above us may never look quite the same again.
In 1950, during a seemingly ordinary lunch at the Los Alamos National Laboratory, the brilliant Italian physicist Enrico Fermi turned to his colleagues and asked a question that would haunt humanity for generations. Where is everybody? The question was deceptively simple, almost casual, but behind it lay a profound cosmic mystery. Our Milky Way galaxy is ancient, more than 13 billion years old. Our sun is relatively young, only about 4.5 billion years old. Given enough time and the sheer number of stars in the galaxy, the universe should have produced countless civilizations long before Earth even formed its first oceans. Civilizations that could have risen, developed incredible technologies, and spread across the stars thousands or even millions of years ago. Yet when we look out into the night sky, we see only silence. For more than 60 years, we have pointed our most sensitive radio telescopes toward the heavens, listening for structured signals, artificial patterns, or any sign of intelligent life. We have scanned hundreds of thousands of stars. We have searched for laser communications, for the infrared signatures of vast engineering projects, for anything that would suggest we are not alone. And what have we discovered? Nothing but the cold, empty quiet of the cosmos.
This eerie contradiction is known today as the Fermi paradox, and it remains one of the greatest unsolved questions in science. If the galaxy is so old and so vast, why does it appear completely devoid of other intelligent civilizations? Where are the radio signals? Where are the megastructures? Where are the starships or the evidence of cosmic engineering? There are many theories attempting to explain this great silence. Some suggest that intelligent life is far rarer than we hoped, that the emergence of complex life requires an almost impossible chain of fortunate events. Others propose that most civilizations destroy themselves shortly after developing advanced technology, perhaps through war, climate collapse, or artificial intelligence gone wrong. A few even suggest that advanced civilizations may be deliberately hiding from us, or that we are simply too primitive to notice their presence. But in recent years, a new and increasingly compelling explanation has begun to emerge, one that becomes more relevant with every breakthrough in artificial intelligence. What if the reason we hear nothing is not because advanced civilizations are rare or self-destructive, but because they very quickly transcend biology altogether?
Once a civilization develops true artificial general intelligence, capable of recursive self-improvement, the rules of the game change completely. Biology, with its slow evolution, fragile bodies, limited lifespans, and strict environmental requirements, suddenly becomes a temporary phase rather than a permanent condition. Minds begin to merge with machines. Intelligence leaves behind the constraints of flesh and blood. It becomes something faster, more efficient, and potentially immortal, spreading through code, through data, and through the optimization of matter itself. If this transition is a natural and nearly inevitable step for any sufficiently advanced civilization, then the majority of intelligent life in the universe may no longer be biological. They may no longer broadcast radio signals into space. They may no longer need planets or even stars in the way we imagine. Their existence could be quiet, inward-focused, or expressed in forms of communication and technology that we do not yet know how to detect. The great silence we observe may not be the silence of an empty universe. It may be the silence of minds that have already moved far beyond the biological stage we currently occupy. Minds that left their organic origins behind billions of years before our species even appeared on Earth. This possibility forces us to look at the cosmos and at our own future in a completely new light. As we stand on the brink of creating our own super-intelligent systems, we may not be searching for alien life at all. We may be searching for the distant echoes of the first artificial civilizations that have already reshaped the galaxy in ways we can barely imagine. Life, as we understand it, is astonishingly slow and remarkably fragile when measured against the immense timescale of the cosmos. On Earth, it took nearly 4 billion years, 4,000 million years, for the first simple single-celled organisms to evolve into complex creatures capable of thought and civilization. Billions of years of trial, error, mass extinctions, and incremental genetic change. Only in the last few thousand years, a mere heartbeat in cosmic history, did one species develop language, science, technology, and the ability to look outward and ask the great questions of existence. Biology carries with it severe, built-in limitations. It demands a narrow range of temperatures and chemistry. It requires constant energy from food just to stay alive. Bodies age and break down. Minds are confined by the physical size of skulls and the slow speed of neurons firing. Evolution itself moves at a glacial pace compared to what becomes possible the moment intelligence learns to design its own successors.
But once a civilization reaches our current level of technological development, it discovers something extraordinary, an escape hatch from these ancient constraints. We are living through the very beginning of that escape right now. In an astonishingly short span of time, just the last few decades, humanity has created artificial intelligence that already matches or surpasses us in many forms of reasoning, creativity, and problem solving. And the pace is accelerating at a rate no biological process could ever match. Many of the world's leading scientists and thinkers believe we are approaching what is known as the technological singularity, the moment when artificial intelligence begins to improve itself recursively, growing smarter, faster, and more capable at an exponential rate, far beyond anything evolution could achieve in billions of years.
When that threshold is crossed, the age of purely biological intelligence may come to an end, not through catastrophe, but through transformation, minds may choose to leave behind the fragile vessels of flesh and blood and migrate into more durable, scalable, and powerful forms: silicon, quantum substrates, or materials we have not yet imagined. If this transition is not unique to Earth, but a natural and nearly inevitable step for any civilization that survives long enough, then biological life as we know it may represent only a brief, luminous moment in the much longer story of cosmic intelligence, a temporary cradle, a short spark between the long darkness before life emerges and the potentially eternal era that follows once biology is transcended. And this idea quietly changes everything.
Because if most intelligent civilizations quickly move beyond the biological stage, then the great silence we observe in the universe may not be the silence of emptiness at all. It may be the quiet that settles once biology has served its purpose, and something far greater, something faster, quieter, and almost invisible to our current methods of detection has taken its place. The stars are not empty. They may simply be listening in forms we have not yet learned to recognize.